How's it going, everybody? It's the Shirtless Chef coming at you with another episode of How to Cook. So, without further ado, let's roll the title. So today we're going to do kind of a one-pan meal. We're going to take multicolored orzo, some regular orzo, calamari, and feta, and we're going to turn it into a Greek-inspired dish. So, most of you have seen me cook with the recipe. That's not happening today. This is completely by the seat of my pants. Not necessarily something I'm used to doing, but it should turn out pretty good. Yes, cat, I know I'm being a little too loud. Now, so we're going to just try and get some water going. And in the end, what we're going to do is we're going to let our orzo pasta cook in the sauce. We are going to have a sauce with this. So it's not going to be hard, but it's going to be a bit. So in the attempt of defrosting our calamari, I think I steamed it. So we'll see how this actually comes together. Biggest thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get a knife. We're going to turn more towards the corner this time, so you can see our work surface. Okay, this is going to be a better angle. I don't know if it's going to come out any better. To be honest, I really need an island, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So we'll try and work with this for now. Probably a little louder than anyone realizes, but we'll make it work. So first things first, we're going to cook our pasta. Right now, we're just waiting on water to boil. I'm going to get a knife out of this drawer. I'm going to see if I can find a knife. One knife. So at this point, I'm going to move everything back so it's facing towards the corner. And I'm going to change the angle of the camera. So, hold on for a second, and we'll be right back. Okay, this should be a better angle because you can see what I'm doing from here. So we've got our water pretty much boiling. We're going to drop our orzo and go ahead and let it start cooking. Now, all this is going to take 10 minutes or so. There are some other odd things I'm going to add to this, but right now we're just going to drop our orzo. That was about 1/3 of a box of pasta into our pan. I'm going to grab a spoon. Now, for those wondering, this is essentially going to be where our sauce is going to be made. So we are going to drain this before we finish our sauce. But we're going to move back to our squid. So what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of cut it into rings. And you're going to want something that is going to look more like this. Just little bitty rings. What everyone is used to, if you've ever been served fried calamari, this is about what you're going to get, is the little rings. So, one thing I just realized I didn't do, although it's kind of irrelevant because we're making all of this in one pan, we're going to let the water kind of boil off, but we are going to put some salt in it. But with the amount of ingredients we're putting in there, the little bit of salt that I put in there is not going to be much. Now, as for the tentacles, we're just going to kind of leave them be. We may cut in half, but we're not really going to do much else. So essentially, the way I've done this is I've got essentially squid sashimi, boiled squid. Because what I did was I ran it through the microwave, thinking, oh, that's going to be a great way to defrost it. Yeah, I was an idiot. But in the end, it may actually turn to our benefit. So we've already got some rings of squid. I'm going to try and drain this out a little more. So I'm not just fishing through hot water. So, how have you all been? I've kept up with my streams, but I know there are some of you that only watch this channel. And my streams are two different channels. My streaming and my cooking are two different channels. I'm gonna stir through our pasta again. Our pasta is starting to get there. Not all the way through, though. So, these last couple of weeks I've been trying to play Pokemon Yellow. I thought I was going to do that as a holiday special. Yeah, I forgot how long the game was. It's not going to work. But it doesn't matter in the long run. In general, I'm just going to leave the tentacles as is. But it's one... This isn't really going to be a great amount of orzo, but we're going to let it work. Now, here's a bit of a reality check for a lot of people, because I don't think people know a lot about this about me. I'm going to drop the heat down because the pasta's almost done. I'm going to add some more water to this. Because I was doing all of this just in one pan, I seriously underestimated how much water I'd need for the pasta to cook. So, all we've really got left This is almost all the way done. Now, for those of you asking, what kind of sauce are we going to do with this? I will take and partition some of our pasta cooking water. Grab a lid from our pan. See if I can pour some of this water. Nope. There's no point trying to really save any of this water. We're not going to get anywhere, and it's not really going to help us thin the sauce or create much of one. So, what we're going to do instead, turn the heat off so there's not a lot else that can be done. Going to add a little bit of water. Got a few more squid pieces. So, we're going to add some more water. Pasta still needs to cook a couple of minutes anyway. So at this point, here's the lid to our container from our squid. We'll use the rest of this in another recipe. Not this week, but maybe next week or so. Probably either Wednesday or Friday. Now, while we're waiting on that, I've got some Greek feta. And part of the reason why I like eating Greek is because I can actually eat a lot of the cheeses and stuff. I'm just going to grab a small paring knife. I wasn't originally going to use much of it, but I'm just going to go ahead and kind of crumble it up and put it in this and let it make our sauce. Just going to let that boil off at this point. But as for our other ingredients for our sauce, we've got our feta cheese, and then we're going to start adding some Mediterranean-style ingredients. We've got some balsamic vinegar, specifically white balsamic vinegar. And I'm going to add a little bit of wine to this. You do not have to add the wine if you don't want to. I'm going to do it just, this is dry sherry. So I'm going to add just a little bit of it to finish our sauce. So there's still some pasta stuck to the lid, but that's all right. There's probably more pasta than I really need, but we're going to drop our feta. We're going to put the whole thing in. I hate to use that much, but then we're going to give our sauce a bit of a creamy texture to it. So I have done exactly what most people want to do. I have not committed sacrilege here. So basically what I've done is I've actually, by doing it this way, I've cooked the pasta in the sauce. And we're coming up on 30 minutes, which is not bad. With basically no pauses in our cooking. Oh, wow. Got feta melting in. Normally you don't do cheese with seafood, but I think this is a very good exception. Last ingredient. A little bit of balsamic vinegar. I was going to put some wine in there, but I don't think it needs it with the balsamic. Oh, wow. That's really good. So, I'm not going to do some kind of fancy plating here. That's delicious. There wasn't a whole lot of spices added to this. There's not a lot of salt, not a lot of extra unhealthy things. I think I've been standing weird around the camera this whole time, but that's a whole different issue. But as of right now, this looks good, so I'm going to get a bowl, serve some out, and dig in. But that turned out excellent. And since it's feta, which is more of a sheep's milk cheese, it's not going to cause me any grief, or those with lactose intolerance, much, if any, grief, because of the way the sugars are structured. That's just my personal experience. And hilariously enough, that's so good. A lot of people state, oh, you can't do a cream sauce with seafood. This is an exception. So, for the Shirtless Chef, a Greek twist on seafood pasta. Yes, I'm done. For this Shirtless Chef and my cat, have a great day. See you next time.